Archers, attack! Keep firing! Let none escape! Another down! Do not relent!
Hey, what's happening, Forum? It's me, Slidewhistle.
'Tis I, Immunization. I feel like it's been a while since we've addressed the forum here.
Hey, what's going on, forums? It's me, Aaron, Fire Magic Extraordinaire and Horde Punching Bag. And let me see what the latest articles here are on the front page. Rainn Wilson of The Office changes his name to Rainfall Heatwave Extreme Winter to protest climate change.
Is that real? Is that a real headline you just read to me?
That is real. Rainn Wilson has all the money he'll ever need because of Office credentials. So he's just doing some silly stuff now.
You know, I was kind of worried because normally at the top of the hour here, and if you're talking about a celebrity, it normally is somebody who's died. And I'm like, oh, fuck, did Rainn Wilson die?
No, there's far too many. But Rainn Wilson's house is too far out in, like, the New Mexico desert. If he dies, no one's going to know for, like, a month.
A month? I feel like people would have to find out before a month.
Well, but I feel like it would be like his utilities are shut off, and then like the phone man's like, "Well, I gotta steal your phone." That's what happens when the utilities get shut off, and then they'll see his big bloated corpse in the desert. And they're like, "Oh no, is that famed actor from The Office, Rainfall Heatwave Extreme Winter?"
You know, I'm not gonna lie though, that name it catches your attention pretty quickly.
It does, in fact, go pretty hard.
Yep, you know what? I was like, who can remember that? But I do remember off the top of my head now, Rainfall, Heatwave, Extreme Winter. So I can't say it's not catchy.
If we're talking about going hard, how about this latest cinematic actually went way harder than I thought it was going to.
Well, they did lay us up with a few snoozers for the first two parts, and they finally went somewhere this time. It was new lore, I feel like, and yeah, I guess let's just dive right on into it. It's part 3 of Dragonflight Legacies. Again, we are just continuing with Nosdormu chatting with Emberthal, and now we are to the part where Nosdormu's like, this is about you and your people, the Drakthir, and your former leader, Deathwing.
Yeah, he's like, Emberthal's like, what do you mean there's something you don't know? It's like, it's in your noggin. It's like, but I just woke up from the big sleep. And it's like, well, let's check your noggin in the magic mirror. And it was revealed that the Drakthir, I mean, Emberthal is black, but there are so many Drakthir, and they come in so many special colors. And all the colors used to work together because Naufarian had a magical device to control them all.
I was like, when I saw it first, I was like, oh shit, Neltharion has a Thanos gauntlet up in here.
Ooh, we're talking season 3 of Fortnite. That thing fell down. No one's going to be stealing that from him.
Yeah, so basically all of the Drakthir blindly followed Neltharion because they were effectively brainwashed into doing his bidding.
I'm pretty sure Emberthal said something to the effect of, like, we were under his influence. She said something to try and not use the phrase brainwash, and then everyone online is like, morally dubious.
It's just it's an order magic influx. That's it. You just got a little order magic in you. You know, sometimes you're feeling a little chaotic. You know, take a hit of the order.
Emberthal, after she crushed a dragon child, said, we were just following orders. Come on. And then she fled to the jungles of Venezuela.
Well, anyways, back to like the cinematic, and basically what happens is the Primalists attack Neltharion and his Drakthir. I forget, in the cinematic, did they say why they were attacking?
Raszageth attacked. I don't think they said why.
No, it's just the general bad guy thing of, like, they wanted to return. The world wasn't much to begin with, but they wanted to return it to an even more primordial like time in history. They wanted to get rid of civilization and just be like, just make it raw fire and raw wind.
Yeah, I mean, I know that, like, from outside of the cinematic, I believe we know that the Primalists really just don't like that the Titans and dragon aspects are, like, controlling them or trying to, like, shape them, right?
Yeah, they just want free and nasty weather all the time. They don't like that the elements are controlled by others, and the elemental planes are shut off from this world.
And they see dragons as like almost like aberrations because they're evolved out of the elements. So they're also probably a little jealous, that they look a lot cooler than the elementals do.
After 10 million years of having little baby arms, you get a little jelly.
But yeah, Razagath is waging war on them. He's flying in. They are fighting with the Drakthir, and at some point, Neltharion's Thanos gauntlet falls off and smashes onto the cliffside and breaks. And then, in that moment, all order amongst the Drakthir is lost, and they have their first free thoughts, I believe.
Which is funny. So, like, because Razagath, when you first look at him, you just see, like, a big, dumb dragon, right? A big, dumb little dragon. But I feel like he probably targeted the gauntlet. So, like, how intelligent is Razagath? You know what I mean? Is he aspect levels of intelligence?
Yeah, I don't know, because in Dawn of the Dragons, when they would talk in first person, the primal dragons, it was in, like, Unga Bunga caveman language. But I feel like Razagath has to be more developed than that. Like, he might look like a proto-simplistic dragon, but he has to have aspect-level understanding of the world.
Yeah, because that was a targeted attack on that gauntlet, knowing that would severely weaken Neltharion and his Drakthir army. So basically, this turns the tide in this little, like, battle that they're having, and Neltharion realizes that they're losing the battle. So then at this point, it's like a kind of a big reveal that he's like, oh, to fight off the Primalists and Razagath, I need to use my secret hidden power, which is, I've been communing with the old gods. So he like calls upon the Void to fight back against Razagath.
And the Void fucking just vacuums up Razagath into like
just
Superman portal.
Doesn't kill any of the Primalists. He just puts him in a hole somewhere else. And it's like, and they will never have to deal with them ever again.
That seems... What if that's a very popular Titan way of dealing with things? Locking them away and not thinking about them for a while.
That is very true. They have done that with a number of people. The Titans, they don't want to get in any fights. They don't want to punch anyone. They're just going to be like, hey, can you get my key? Or can you get something out of the truck?
Serve your life sentence.
And then they lock the door. And they're like, I'm not letting you in, Jerry.
Iron it out, please.
So I believe the next thing and the kind of last thing in the cinematic is that Nozdormu then is like, Emberthal, then after this, basically Neltharion turns on you guys, and then Emberthal's like, no, he would never. And then like they go back to the memory of when effectively Neltharion locks them all up in the cave where they are there for their eternal slumber until they wake up now, and like, well, next week in Dragonflight pre-patch part 2, and yeah, he like time magic freezes them or something in this dark sleep, and then he just turns his back on them, and Nozdormu's like, yeah, he knows that now that you guys had your free will, you weren't as useful to him.
Yeah, she says something to the effect of like, it would have been a less cruel fate simply to strike us down there. And I'm like,
that's wrong. That's not even right.
I feel bad for y'all.
Like, she didn't even know that any of that happened. She forgot it all happened. She was happy when she woke up, right?
Yeah, I mean, she was confused, but then Nozdormu was like, cluing her in, and
Nozdormu is like, I'm just gonna make you feel bad real quick. We just this is some scary times, and we need some bad vibes ASAP.
Yeah, but then he kind of gives her hope, because at the end he's like, yeah, your leader betrayed you and did this to you, but now you have free will, and now you write your own story, and also you're needed, because guess what? And then Emberthal's like, I sensed them. The Primalists have returned.
So, the Primalists seem like the good guys here, don't they? It seems like they just want to live their lives.
Also, like, we didn't get the motives of Razagath in this little clip. It was only from the viewpoint of Emberthal and effectively, like, Neltharion. I kind of jokingly said this to you guys, like, the other day when this first came out. I was like, yo, Razagath, good guy. He sensed that Neltharion was being corrupted by the Void, so he's like, yo, Primalists, we must go take him down because the Void is on our island now.
Yeah, like, he said that, and I was like, that's silly. And then I'm watching it, and I'm like, wait, literally, like, this could be what's happening. Like, they can feel bad energies. it's obviously been inside of him so much that he could just pull it out easily to suck a big portal over on Razagath. So
I want to talk to Razagath about the size of his scope here. Like, if he's like, I want to turn all of the Dragon Isles into an elemental plane, I'd be like, I mean, sure, you can have it. Like, stay in your funny little zone, and you guys can do whatever you want here. We're not going to mess with you. Now, if he's like, I want to glass the entire planet, it's like, well, hey, bud, I live there. I'm not a fan of that.
Yeah, I mean, like, we can ask him, because he will be the final boss of this upcoming raid, in the first raid in Dragonflight. But he's probably going to be really mad because, he's been locked in the void by Deathwing for who knows how long, and I don't know. When people are, like, locked away in the void and return, I don't think they're all there when they come back, so I don't know exactly if he'll be willing to talk or able to talk.
All I'm saying, use some sand powers. Norzdomu's coming back. Send us back in time to talk to Nystagath. I want to talk to Razagath 10 million years ago. See if he's a good fella. Maybe he can help us fix some things.
So what is the mechanism that didn't allow anyone else to know about this? So, because Nozdormu needed the memories of Emberthal, right? So obviously he wasn't there, he didn't see it, but he didn't even fucking know that any of this happened. How was a Primalist attack on the Dragon Isles how's that gone, like, unbeknownst to them, but Neltharion knew about it? Was it because of his Drakthir?
Well, I have an idea about this, actually. Because when the Aspects left, they were not able to go back to the Dragon Isles. So, like, maybe... Okay, so basically, the viewpoint of this event, I assume, was only seen by the Primalists, Razagath, Neltharion, and the Drakthir. Razagath and the Primalists were all locked away in Voidland, so he can't, and he probably wouldn't talk to them. They all had to fight and kill Deathwing, so, like, there goes that viewpoint. And then the Drakthir are all locked away in slumber.
But Neltharion is an aspect. If he is an aspect, so if he's an aspect and the aspects didn't know how to get back to the Dragon Isles, how did he was just going back and forth, like, just no one noticed him gone, like when he was going back,
Yeah, like, so it's implied that the Drakthir were just his little buddies, and he did not talk about them with anyone else. It was an army that only he knew of on this area that only he visited.
And I believe in, like, the first or second one of these legacy things, Nozdormu effectively said, like, yo, we kind of turn a blind eye to Neltharion. We didn't really see the signs that he was being corrupted by the old god. So I honestly think they just weren't paying attention. They just, like, trusted, like, this is our buddy.
Yeah, they had to go and cultivate the entirety of Azeroth, especially back then when it was one huge island. So it's like, I'm too busy with ice stuff to think about what you're doing over there.
I just think it's crazy that these, like, powerful, supposedly all-knowing beings with all the connections in the world can't figure out that one of the 5 of them knows how to get back to the Dragon Isles that nobody knows how to get back to. Also, has created a Master Cypher Dia situation where he's created an entire fucking clone army and nobody knows anything about it? Like, and then there's a Primalist attack. Are the Dragonflights that incompetent? Like, or is it just powerful, blinding void magic?
Well, I mean, I just kind of assumed some things about the timeline of when this happened. For all we know, this all could have happened before they even left the Dragon Isles. But, like, I feel like the bottom line is that the other aspects just weren't paying attention.
And I guess it's not like Neltharion's going to talk about it because, like, they're getting sandwiches at the Wawa that's on the island. And it's like, oh, I just killed all the Primalists. They're like, oh, shit, how'd you do it? And then he has to be like, I made a big tentacle door. And then it's like, you what? So, yeah, he probably just got rid of them, put his little boys in a cave, and he was just like, well, that was Tuesday.
I didn't think about the timing of this one being the week before we get Evokers. That's kind of fun. So, like, I'm assuming then the 4th one will be about them, like, joining the world and seeing Azeroth. They better do, like, a cool, like, tourist picture, like, photo montage of them posing in front of, like, famous Azeroth locations doing kawaii figures.
There's just one who has 2, like, staves, and he's doing the Iron Forge guy thing.
Or like there's one who's like in the stockades, and the Stormwind stockades like, I visited the Stormwind stockades, and all I got was this imprisonment. And like this is like
you just see video of one kind of sticking their foot in and out of.
And then like one of the generals, like a picture of them just like rolling around in the mud in Orgrimmar like a pig.
Like a pig. There wasn't any more of the legacies thing, right? That was pretty much the end of the video?
No, yeah, it just kind of ended of like, whoa, it stinks, I wish I was dead. And then, yeah, sort of, as Immune said, it was like, you are given a new lease on life to help us in this new world. And then they looked at the distance.
Yeah, and then they're like, the Primalists will return in the next Marvel movie. But yeah, we have like 2 more of these, I think.
Yeah, I guess, let me look at my silly little calendar here. Yeah, we'll get one on the 15th and the 22nd, and then that will be release time 3 weeks from now.
Yeah, it's coming up really fast. But I guess we can just, like, this, transitions well into the fact that, yeah, next week, well, next reset, so, like, the Tuesday after this is released, it's officially phase 2 of their pre-patch, which is, yeah, the Evokers being there. And also us getting the tier dungeon. So I feel like this is, for me at least, the exciting part of pre-patch.
Yeah, this is fucking, like, I'm ready to go. I've been playing God of War, and I'm like, I had to beat it. So, like, I've been just sitting powering through it. I put in, like, 7 hours yesterday. I gotta put in 7 more today. And they keep mentioning tier. And all I can think of is fucking WoW. And in this... Oh, spoiler, if you're playing God of War, this is a spoiler. Tyr's been imprisoned by Odin, and I can't help but think, sometimes things, like, copy each other by accident. Like movies or, like, games. What if Odin has locked up our Tyr, as well?
Yeah, I'm just putting it together. The fact that you're playing something based on Norse mythology, which Blizzard 100% just stole everything from, so you're gonna get a lot of things that are like overlapping.
Well, and like the only thing is that there's no Tyr being kidnapped story that I can find in the actual Greek mythos. So I was like, is this a famous story that I'm missing out on or something that like is an obvious WoW crumb? But no, there's not. But like, how cool would that be? Tyr's alive.
I mean, like, I wouldn't put it past the Titans to, like, fake somebody's death who was, like, onto them for their bullshit interfering in Azeroth, so, I don't know.
You know what? We talked about it. They just put him in a portal. They just said, we just found a different world for you to sit in. Sit in this portal, please. They're going to feel so dumb when 2 of their major prisoners in portals come out during this expansion. It's like, oh man, do we have a warranty on these things? Do they have a timer? Our portals used to be so effective.
Also, I'm just thinking, like a few weeks ago, I think, or whatever, we were talking about how they were shaping the waters for the dragon waters. Was it Tyr that was in charge of that?
Yes.
And then they got like corrupted or needed to be like pH balanced properly so that like the dragons would be under their control. So like, what if him like effectively kind of leaking this information, they were like, stop that, or like he's like, no, I actually don't want to like enslave the aspects to be, mind washed by the Titans. He's like, I don't think that's right. And then they're like, do it or we'll lock you up in this other portal that Aaron was talking about.
He's locked up in Tyr's hold. Tyr's hold. It holds Tyr. It holds them.
He said, we're going to punish you by making you run quests in Tyr's Fall. And you're like, oh no! That place is so old! They haven't done anything in there since 2010!
They are definitely giving us the Titan heel turn. I mean, I know we've said this before, but now I just can't stop thinking about how far these lies extend. It's consuming my life.
Yeah, I think there's going to be some kind of big reveal, some kind of big heel turn at some point during this expansion where, like, the Titans just officially are bad.
I think that they're going to try to tie Shadowlands into Dragonflight a little bit. I really, at this point, I'm beginning to really lean towards the Azeroth is a first one theory that I haven't really heard that much about because I feel like no one's saying this.
I mean, we're peddling a lot of weird theories on this podcast, so go on. Tell us a little bit about this theory.
No one's brave enough to mention Shadowlands lore. We're the only people on the internet talking about it because everyone's like, ugh, we just want to move on.
So there's 6, what is it? 6 forces? Is that what they're called?
Yeah, like cosmic forces of the cosmos. You're talking about like life, death, order, disorder, void, and light.
Yeah, you got it. I was like, yours is the last one. You should know yours. But okay, but at the end of Shadowlands, we got like this broker Alafarim, who he was the guy in the book. I think maybe one of the books we have. Did he do the?
Yeah, I mean, it was also Farim and like the one that we were questing with in Zereth Mortis.
I don't remember their names in Zereth Mortis. They're all broker to me. But so he had some findings.
Also, yes, that is 1,000% Farim. That's his dead name. Before he became a caveman, he was formerly Elfrim.
So there's a Korthian relic, because, you know, we all read those. We love our Korthian relics. Woo-hoo! That was called the Ever-Living Statuette. And it whispered, and when things whisper, it's never good, but it whispers, the 7th covets what the 6 hold fast. The fulcrum wavers. All will be undone.
What does that last sentence even mean?
Well, all will be undone could mean a lot of things, and it also could mean like all of the Titans' bullshit and lies will be undone. So, okay, so we have met the 6 ones, or the 6 first ones. We've just heard about them. They each represent, as Immune said, something like order, disorder, blah, 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 blah. So Azeroth could be the 7th first one, because I feel like they've been hinting at other forces being out there. So either Azeroth was like imprisoned early on by the other first ones. I mean, we saw how easily they were gonna throw that they threw Zobal into jail, that the Eternal ones did that. So why wouldn't they learn from the first ones who threw Azeroth into portal prison jail?
Okay, so a fulcrum is like part of a mechanism of balance, right? It's like I think it's like the thing where like in a seesaw, it's like the thing in the middle that holds up the seesaw. So
yes. Good use of your simple machines from 3rd grade.
Thank you.
I have a full TED Talk about pulleys and levers after this.
I do in fact have a little bit of a civil engineering background. But anyways, I think that could be in reference to, you know, the classic fucking diagram of like the 6 cosmic forces that we always talk about, and that is presented to us. That was effectively made by the Titans, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So the fulcrum that Farim is talking about could be like what the balance, air quotes, balance that the Titans are presenting to us, and the fact that there could be a 7th force that they just don't want us to know anything about could disrupt their perfect balance.
And to me, this sounds like we're leading into WoW Ragnarok, which is so fucking weird because it seems like the Order people, if this theory is true, the Order people are trying to keep this contained because they know once this breaks, once Azeroth emerges or whatever as a first one, shit's gonna go to hell. And that's why that the Burning Legion and the Void Lords and everybody else who fucking attacks us, they want to set her free because they want this fulcrum to break. They know shit will fucking hit the fan when it happens.
Also, okay, so other world souls that, like, because like, we've been told that Azeroth is a world soul. Other world souls, like, we've fought before, right?
We've only ever fought one world soul, and it was Argus. And I don't know, everything about Argus felt weird. I could easily see the idea of world souls in general just being a Titan lie. Because they said...
it's just some weird guy... And there's like, he came from inside the planet. Although I guess, yeah, because they all claim they're world souls, but we don't know we've never seen a planet that they erupted from. So that could have just been anything.
Also, like, that type of, air quotes, world soul that was presented to us, and if Azeroth is a world soul, Azeroth seems a lot stronger, like... Her like just the thought of her blood is strong enough to power like entire like beings and like communities. So it's like why was that not the same thing for Argus, if that's a thing?
Well, the idea, because I think they actually addressed that. I think they said that Argus was, he emerged too soon. It was like, no, he's not ready yet, or something like that. It was like they were just trying to get it out there, like, while they still could.
Oh, also that he was corrupted while he was still in there, right?
Yeah, like something went wrong, I think, in the process. Like there was like a bunch of problems. If I'm reading that correctly, but I think we read something like a couple weeks ago about how the Titans were born on another Zereth Blorgus or Zereth Smorgus, whatever that was.
It was Zereth. Yes, it was Zereth Ortis.
Is it the Keepers? No, that was the Titans. That was where the Titans were born. Now I guess. So, like, and those are the ones that emerge from the souls of planets? Like, what if they're just fucking messing? What if they're making up bullshit? What if they don't even know how they're born? And they're being sent on these pointless tasks to go planet to planet, and there's fucking nothing out there.
Well, who would be telling them to do that? Like, the first one of order?
Yeah, hey, everyone's got a boss, right? Eventually you get up to Ariana Grande at the very top.
Yeah, you know,
Ooh,
God is a woman, and this is...
Seven forces, 7 rings. She was telling us about it.
Shit, Aaron, you are on to something here. Yeah, she is the one. She said she gave all of her besties these 7 rings, like all of the first ones, and her, you know?
Order, disorder, light, void.
But then Azeroth betrayed her and totally started dating her ex, and Ari said, why? When will I ever find love?
I really fumbled the bag there. It was funny that I couldn't remember the easiest ones. Life and death, the ones we've literally been dealing with the most.
When are we going to see Ari's kinky boots? Entire civilizations will be like, those are grand. And she said, thanks, just bought them.
No, she's like, those aren't grand, they're grande.
Alright, back into the...
Then the world explodes.
We're going back on in. This other thing where he was like, the 7th covets what the 6 hold fast. Well, it's probably a connection to literally anybody, because Azeroth, it has been trapped inside of this little baby ball. And if she is the first one, she's seeing everybody else out there wandering around having fun with Sargeras and chilling with the Void people. And she's like, I'm trapped inside this stupid, stinky planet. So she would covet freedom. Maybe she's freedom. Yeah. Okay. What would she be? So whatever Azeroth would be, I feel like would have to represent the planet, like everything on the planet, right?
I had a theory earlier. I was talking with Slidewhistle off pod that if there is a 7th cosmic force that the other ones would want to inhibit, I think, and if it also is representative of the people of Azeroth, I think we can workshop the name here a little bit, but I've like free will or agency or just like freedom type thing, because like I feel like every cosmic being is always just like impressed and underestimates us. So like the fact that we can like think for ourselves type deal.
Mm-hmm. And there's nothing to counter it. There's nothing to stop it. So they're like, well, here's this ideal that is influencing all of the people, and we have no way to counteract this. This stinks. I want to get rid of it.
Yeah, and you know that the Titans or whoever were like trying to order the universe, if there was an uneven number of cosmic forces, they would be like, nope, we can't have that. That's unbalanced. Let's lock one up, like that one. It doesn't have a counterpart. I
think Azeroth is the power of the indomitable human spirit.
That's an anime plot. That's literally the plot of Gurren Lagann, is that the world is made out of the human spirit. We just keep spinning like a drill, one step at a time.
Dude, that's the best part. Dude, Azeroth emerges from the crust and she says,
humans were right. Orcs stink. Indomitable human spirit.
Every other race is eradicated. Like, you just see, like, Teldrassil screaming. The Nidals are like, no! As humans are the only ones left. And people are like, what the is this really it? And then it's just like, you log in the next day and it's just EverQuest. There's just one people you can be. White people.
I like yours though. Like, I think some kind of freedom, like willpower. Like, I'm not sure. There is definitely like one good word for what we're trying to say that I cannot think of, because like it's got to be something almost intangible, right? Which is why they locked her up, because you can't.
It's
predict
tough
it.
because they have never said whatever it would be, and it's not like we can play off something else to be like, oh, what's missing? Because there is no something else. So it's a concept that is outside of these 6 incredibly vague ones.
Yeah, it's like something like unpredictable. I feel that's a good descriptor of the word, because like that's what exactly what they would not want. Everyone knows that light is gonna fight void and void is gonna fight light. What the fuck are we gonna do? They don't fucking know, so they're scared.
Could be spirit or hearts.
Okay, I was saying off pod. I was like, I swear to God, if it's fucking love, I'm gonna kill myself. Like, if it's fucking Mati holding up his little heart ring, I'm gonna be kind of mad, honestly.
I feel like there's even though we're trying to homogenize things, I feel like there's so much hate and stinky still going around. I'm going to be so mad when it happens. But if the world of Warcraft ends with a thing where it's like, you are all the embodiment of love, I'm about to be so pissed.
Dude, what if you're right? Like, what if instead of that, it's just war or hate? Like some like really shitty descriptor
Oh, she's
that we
actually
are.
really scary. And then we're back on like the first one side. They're like, oh my God, she's the incarnation of pain. Yeah, lock her up.
Lust. No, please. Anyway, keep your eyes peeled for theaters near you showing Azeroth. A first one? News at 11.
Speaking of 11,
Turn it up to
gonna
11.
Yeah, turn it up to 11, Growl. Let's go. Well, here we are, DN Army. 1 week until things really get cooking. Narigante, what's the first thing that you're gonna do once the second part of pre-patch hits?
You know, I'm hitting up the new dungeon to get that extra exclusive mining helmet. I'm not letting it pass me by this time.
I haven't even heard of this. They're crafting a new version of the infamous mining helmet for this updated Uldaman.
Well, I haven't actually seen it yet, but it's got to be a thing, right? Just think of all the money they're leaving on the table if they don't at least have the original still in there. I can't be wrong.
What happens if they didn't bring it back, Nair? What happens if your little lamp friend is truly a thing of the past?
Then why are we even doing this, honestly? No hat, no patch. That's final.
Well, those are sobering words, friend. Take note, Ian and the gang. Get Nergigante the hat, or else your expansion will be just as empty as my wallet after a 2-for-1 Griffin sale. Speaking of my birds, let's saddle up and fly on over to part 2 of the show. Thanks, Growl. We've all deposited pee-pees and poo-poos in the proper receptacle. And now, let's go.
So this week, Slide and I got our physical copy of the Dragonflight Collector's Edition. It's honestly pretty stunning. The box itself is, I think, one of the prettier ones that I've seen. And it came with some really thick-ass pins, like, for each of the Dragonflight. And then a cool Alexstrasza mouse pad.
Now, it does make sense that it's a very attractive-looking box, because if you'll remember, it was a former Sexiest NPC of the week. What does it feel like to finally get your hands around this? I was going to say curvaceous, but it's not. It's a rectangle.
It kind of is curvaceous, though. You know, I did run my fingers over its elevated ridges.
I will say, as sexy as she is, hey, listen, that was like 7 weeks ago. We've had 6 other sexiest NPCs since then that I've been thinking about a little more longer. Including this week's sexiest NPC of the week, Tyr's Hand in Tyr's Fall.
Ooh. Let me look up this shiny beauty.
It's 5 beautiful digits sticking out of the dirt in beautiful blighted lands. The only good thing this area has to bring to you is the hand even there anymore? I know it used to be there, but can you still? Is it still even there? Did the hand get relocated?
No, not that I can see. Looking up, the best thing I can get is this wonderfully painted illustration of Tyr's Fall from the Wowpedia. I'll make sure to put it in the chat here, but I do not think there's a physical model in-game.
What does the lore say about where the hand went? Did someone steal it? Dude, because his Tyr's alive, so he fucking needed it, didn't he?
That's gotta be it. He gave him the old rope-a-dope. They cut off his hand. He goes, "Oh no, this blows." And then he snuck around and he got it again. He's like, hey, the silver hand? What a bunch of losers. I'd never have a silver hand. Paid for by the Scarlet Crusade.
Poor Tyr. Well, you know what we gotta do? We gotta go dig up that beautiful, beautiful hand. Because, I mean, it's sad that he was buried within the area known as Tyr's Fall Glade. That's where the hand is, because they were living in Tyr's Hand, nearby Tyr's Bay. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I would love to be Tyr's Bay, if you know what I mean.
Boo, boo.
If I could like just get my hand on Tyr's hand, you just like use that as like a dildo or something.
What is that word? A ghost job?
Yeah, where you sit on your hand. Oh, do you think he does that too? He's like, I don't even have to sit on it. I just put my little wiener there and it's always nice and cold.
Okay, later he says he was buried within the area now known as Tyr's Fall Glades, like I said before. So, couldn't we just dig it up? Couldn't we just excavate it to make sure he's really there and not, somewhere else? Not in a prison?
I'm just imagining a horny archaeologist who, like, hits, like, a little bit of Tyr's hand. It's like, oh my god, the hand's here. And then it takes them years. They finally dig up the whole thing, and it's like, oh, I can finally fuck it.
Also, isn't it like a trope when you're faking someone's death to like leave a part of them there?
Ooh, very true. Yeah, you can't prove his body wasn't there.
Have the seeds... Okay, now this section is completely unconfirmed. This is a memory that I swear I remember hearing twice before, but it could be false. I swear to God that I remember hearing that Alex Afrasiabi wanted Tyr to not really be dead, but he wanted him to be instead one of the lieutenants commanded by Yogg-Saron, or commanded like somewhere down the line. And everyone said, no, that's fucking stupid. We're not going to make Tyr into a corrupted being that's a void man. But what if instead they were like, we'll put him in a prison underground, under Tyr's Fall Glades, where nobody would look for him. So there may already be precedents for this story maybe existing prior. What if Afrasiabi works at God of War Studios and he gets to use his idea finally?
God, can you imagine? Ousted for being sexual predator, and there's, well, you know what? That happens in the industry much more than I'd like to admit. I just want to wrap up this segment with saying that Tyr's hand, of course, we're talking about the physical member of his body.
Yes.
But also, Tyr's Hand is a city which is run by Scarlet Crusader Brigitte Abendis, and I'd love to abend her over and show her this.
Hey.
Sexiest NPC of the week segment.
That's next week.
All I'm saying is, keep your eyes peeled for Lady Onslaught Brigitte Abendis.
Okay. So wait. So I'm reading about.
No, I was just gonna say before you get into that, like, why the fuck not? Let's just name 2 sexiest NPCs. We need to catch up here.
Let's do it. Put her on the list. Say it. Bring her in.
Hi, General Brigitte of Bendis. You are our additional sexiest NPC of the week. Oh,
Just as sexy. You're on the. I haven't seen you, nor have I seen Tyr's hand. So I'm just. You know what? You look. Your name is fucking ballin', girl.
There's nothing sexier than having to, have all of it left up to our imagination, so...
well, I'm looking at the picture of Brigitte Bendis, and she's got a cool flaming axe. She's Scarlet Crusade, which we love them, other than their apparent racism. Whoa! And she's in the Ashbringer comic, where she looks distinctly worse.
Well, she's still our sexiest NPC, that's for sure. We love her.
She's great. I love the fact that she always just kind of shows up whenever you go by there. She's in 17 expansions, and each time gets one sentence.
And this is some very important ginger representation in our sexiest NPC of the week,
Guys, Tyr, I don't think Tyr's dead. I'm gonna land on this, so I don't think Tyr's dead. So, Tyr lost his hand fighting Galakrond, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
He had his hand replaced.
I would say it was bitted off.
And now his hand was replaced by Uldaman. Uldaman is a Titanic Watcher that walks in the Dragonflight as if he had some purpose to his stride. He is considered to be a Titanic mystery of Northrend. He and Tyr were close friends. He has no noteworthy drops. Why would they add that to that? That's mean. Okay, so he forged and helped Tyr replace his hand with silver. So they were such good bros. He was working with him. When the Burning Legion invaded, Jotun killed Galford, who was carrying a spark of Tyr. So he was like, "Oh, my friend. I guess you had to beat him up, and he gave you the spark, whatever." In the novels, Muradin is trying to find Jotun, again, who made Tyr's hand. The three bronze spirits walked the path of the Titans looking for him, but he was nowhere to be found. Magni wondered if perhaps Loken's defeat broke Jotun's curse. When they visited Thorum in the Temple of Storms, the Keeper also didn't know what happened to Jotun. Jotun was missing. We don't even know where he is. And he's Tyr's best friend? They're together. He's looking for Tyr.
Yeah, the Titans were like, we gotta cover our tracks here, so we also gotta take out his best friend, because he would be looking for him.
I think we're gonna see Jotun in Dragonflight. That's my Hail Mary. Is Jotun a sexiest NPC? He can make you a silver fister.
Not yet. Not yet. We've been playing fast and loose. I need to know a little bit more about Jotun, but maybe next time.
But Miss Yolanda bend her over.
Excuse me. Her name is a Bendis. That is both a bend over and a dick joke. That was too good to pass up, just like she is.
Jotun these nuts, man. Jotun these nuts.
Jotun these nuts. We'll tell you what, keep that one fresh on your mind. Next week we'll come back and hit you with that sweet Jotun segment.
Can't wait. I mean, we know that Jotun gives a good hand.
Do people say that? Oh, yeah. Oh, they give great hand.
Now they will.
Stellar handiwork from that one.
I haven't seen a hand like this since Jotun.
Oh, keep going, girl. You're giving me that good Jotun. Instead of head or brain or whatever. It's like, oh, I'm about to yote. Yote my scrot, girl.
God.
Oh, Jotun, don't worry, baby. We're coming back for you.
We're coming back for you, baby.
Wait. Where is this at? I'm sorry, everybody. I don't mean to go back to Jotun. Remember how I told you this happened in a story?
Yes.
After the war against the jailer, they went looking for Jotun. What do you mean? When did they go looking for Jotun? Oh my! It's in Exploring Azeroth Northrend. What the fuck? It's in the book that hasn't come out yet. This book comes out the 15th. Guys, holy shit! Tyr's alive. So Jotun is literally looking for Tyr, or he's wandering. So this book comes out in 5 days, and I'm immediately adding this to my Amazon fucking buying list. Holy shit!
Is this the one that was controversial for one reason or another, or was that the Kalimdor one?
No, that was Exploring Kalimdor. because it was
Wow.
controversial because while they were exploring Kalimdor, they had to come to terms with the fact that like half the Horde races are racial caricatures.
I am really curious to see who writes this one, because they're written from Muradin's. Okay, there's a mistakes and inconsistencies section about this book, and then they even have a little footnote. Given the fact that the entries are written from Muradin's point of view,
Yeah, I was like, who?
these could theoretically be considered as in-universe mistakes instead of retcons. All the way down, the very last mistakes says the Titan Forged lineage chart has the Vrykul, Giants, and Earthen coming from the Titans directly. They were actually created by the Keepers using the Forge of Wills, unless we're getting some information clarification from the Northrend Chronicle. Oh, we got a picture of the chart. Oh my god, Muradin has such cute little handwriting. I'm posting this in host chat. Look at this. So at the very top is Titans, and then it branches off into Earthen, Vrykul, Giants, and Watchers. And from each of those, like, the Dark Iron Dwarfs came from the Earth and they came from the Titans. It kind of like goes in lineages like that. So Loken made the Iron Giants, Iron Vrykuls, Iron Dwarfs, but he didn't make the Dark Iron Dwarfs?
I appreciate Mimiron's. He did not want to mess around. My man Mimiron made mechanomes, who made gnomes, who turn themselves into Mechagon mechanomes. It's like, if it's not broke, why fix it?
I mean, we saw that storyline happen right before our faces on Mechagon. People,
That's very true.
like the gnomes wanting to recreate themselves after the Mechanome. So I mean, I guess we saw that reversal.
Also, when are the humans? When are the Vrykul gonna make something new? All they made was humans. Those snoozers. Pop out something else. Come on, you guys are the only ones who aren't doing anything.
I'm now super excited for this book. Holy shit. I think we may have unearthed something here, if you know what I'm Vrykuling about. Anyway, back to what we originally were trying to talk about, which was the physical collector's edition coming in the mail like 20 minutes ago. So there's an art book inside that has even more lore. It's not like that crazy of lore. It's just like random sentences of things that like you wouldn't know. Like we knew that Sindragosa was going to be involved in Dragonflight, right? And this very quick page just shows some beautiful like snow scenery, and then it says, prior to sealing the Azure archives to fight in the War of the Ancients, Sindragosa created a simulacrum to maintain her beloved home, with a final message for Malygos should the worst come to pass. As she suspected, the Prime Consort never returned. Tragically, in his all-consuming grief over the decimation of the Blue Dragonflight by the betrayal of Neltharion, neither did Malygos. So whatever that we're looking for in her little library was some kind of urgent message of like things for him to do now that she's been gone. Probably like arcane old secrets or things he didn't even know about. So we're gonna fucking find that shit, basically.
I have a feeling this expansion is basically going to be the Azerothians finding out that everything that they know is a lie.
I think so too.
Which the audience loves.
Oh,
I know.
Yeah.
I know people really appreciate when you say, remember everything you knew? It's different.
People are so bad at like deciphering like full-on retcons from just like things that could be like logically explained. Like, yeah, they're kind of the same, but if they can be explained in a well way, who gives a shit? It's the history of the book that they're creating.
Yeah, my big thing is Titan stuff, Dragon stuff is so vague that it's like you're like, oh, there was a secret bonus message that Sindragosa had. And it's like, well, I know maybe 2 things about her. What's a third?
And you know, it's like I feel like they've actually been thinking about this for a while, because right when the first Chronicle came out, like when they announced that the first Chronicle was coming out, they basically said this is written from the perspective of the Titans, and like everyone was a little bit confused about what that meant, and they're like, well, why should that matter? Like the Titans made us, right? The Titans made us, right?
Yeah, they were like kind of cagey about it. They were weird. They were giving those weird answers where you're like, why is that guy being so weird? And then like 8 years later, you're like, oh my god, he was trying to kill me. Like you figure it out the whole time, you know?
Yeah, so the Chronicle was released in 2016. It was probably being worked on several years before that, so it's like they've definitely at least had this idea planned since then, I'm sure.
So I just bookmarked like another page that I thought was interesting. So like it's like artwork of inside the Titan facility with our buddy Stony Tony. What's his real name? Ooh, if you can get that one, guys, trivia points you get 1 bonus point for your next time warp for the real name of Stony Tony. Ready, go.
I mean, I can look him
No,
up.
you can't.
I have no concept of what his name is, honestly. Because I feel like as soon as they told us his name, everyone was just like, "Fuck that! We're gonna come up with new nicknames."
I was gonna say it was some kind of, it was close to Kronos was what I was thinking.
Yeah, it was Koranos. I'm sorry, Koranos. Koranos. And he will be one of the main NPCs in 10.0, according to this April 20th, 2022 r/WoW post.
And I'm sure very, very quickly will be a sexiest NPC of the week. We got a lot of hard jokes we can make there.
Oh, you know it. I've got this picture of him looking up, closing his eyes, just begging for a facial.
Oh my god.
A moss facial. It's like a treatment at the spa they get for the stone. It makes sense. Okay, anyway, back to this book. So it's showing the inside of Tierhold. It's just like Titan circles and machinery and sparks. I don't know what the fuck I'm looking at. Within the lower levels of Tierhold lie the halls of infusion. Designed by the Titan Forged, the structure is lined with countless rooms and hidden chambers, most of them playing a part in the evolutionary machine that empowered proto-drakes to become the 5 dragonflights of the modern world. Yet not all chambers found within Tierhold were focused on this main purpose. Many places inside are also devoted to the maintenance of Titan Forge caretakers, whatever, where they live. Okay, I'm sorry, how many rooms are dedicated to evolving proto-drakes into aspect dragons? Excuse me?
Wait, no, legitimately, how many did you say?
It says most. Most.
They looked online, they saw the most optimum thing they can do with their setup is proto-dragon to standard dragon transformation, and they said, okay, that's going to be my whole farm. I'm going to have that, and then 2 apple trees.
Is this like the first research laboratory where they're like, how can we change this animal into becoming this animal, a more well-organized animal? That's kind of what it seems like. It seems like everything was kind of just created. Wasn't their whole thing that they didn't want any other dragons to know how much the Titans helped them? Didn't they lie to the Dragonflights to not tell them how much the dragons like? They told them that Titans created them. They told all of them that Titans created them. But they all came from
Yes,
Galakrond,
I believe
right?
so. It's been a second since we reflected on it, but yeah, I think they wanted to downplay Galakrond's impact in the narrative.
It's so weird. I cannot wait to see what the fuck this shit means. Normally as this shit comes out in past expansions, I'm like, oh my god, this is gonna be so cool. And then what happens? It never happens. This time feels different. I feel like we're getting a lot of information about these things, more so than we normally would.
This article just says that the proto-dragons, which the dragons evolved from, were descendants of the elements in general.
Yeah, they like came like out of the, and that's why the Primalists are mad. They want us to return to like that like pre-life basically. So the Titans basically forcibly advanced civilizations so they could be their army slaves. That's pretty fucked up.
But later in this article, it does say that Galakrond is known as the progenitor of dragonkind.
Well, I'm sure as I read this book more, I will have more tidbits, or Wowhead will post a fucking article with all the shits, and they'll fucking make wild speculations.
For us who didn't get the bonus editions, that we can sneak onto Wowhead and filch the information. Cubby Bub met Santa Claus today.
What? Where?
She did, at the mall. It was the real Santa Claus. He said so.
He's a little early, isn't he?
That's what I was thinking. I said, Sandy, there's no snow. It's not even your month. But he's posted up because he said, ho, 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 you know me. there's one thing I love, it's capitalism.
I was gonna say, Mariah Carey said that it's time, so I guess it has to be time.
He said it's gonna be a green Christmas, and I don't mean just because of global warming, I mean I'm getting fucking paid! And then he hit her in the face with a stack of hundos. And I don't think that was very nice. In fact, I think that's pretty naughty.
That's fucked up, yo.
You know what else is fucked up? Let's bring this little episode to a close. What do you say, fellas?
Oh, you want to do a top two, bottom boot, medium? I will start us off this week if that's what you're implying.
Okay, that's what I wanted.
My top two is, my physical condition is finally here, and I have a new mouse pad, because I've been rocking the World of Warcraft Shadowlands 1 for 2 years. 4 years?
Does it have like a big butt wrist protector?
No, I wish. Actually, I don't wish. I don't like those very much. I feel like my hand feels weird when I use them.
It took forever to get used to the one that I have, but now I'm ruined.
It's probably good to use it, right? Can only be good to use the protector.
Probably, yeah. I do not hurt my wrist as much as I used to do when I was laptop gaming back in college.
No, it's just the one from the old box. The one from 2 years ago. With, like the Oribos picture, the Shadowlands, ICC and Oribos touching tips.
That's kind of hot. I mean, it's kind of sad that that's going to have to go away.
But I'm literally replacing it with Alex Straza's big tits. Because though they don't bump up, like off the edge, she's in the perfect position to where I will 100% get to see her cleavage while I game at all times.
Yeah, we're having a live changing of the guard here when he is replacing his Shadowlands mousepad with his Dragonflight mousepad. Also, since Shadowlands came out, we've had like the Shadowlands pins displayed on a shelf next to us. I guess we can replace them with the Dragonflight ones.
Yeah, the Covenant pins can come down, and I think I can finally wear them. It's not fun to wear Covenant pins when they're current, but I think seeing somebody on the street with a fucking, like, Night Face symbol, or that Necrolord green crystal, they'd be like, wait a minute, what was that? Did I just see what I think I saw?
James, what was that?
What about you, Aaron? What's your TTBBMM?
Well, once ever so long ago, I celebrated the fact that I got all of the Heritage armors, and then I said all of the Alliance ones. I'll never get the Horde guys, lol. Well, I have come here to rectify that. Today, I have finished Kisinakechi, the Tauren Druid, and I have all of the Horde Heritage armors.
Sorry, what was that name?
Oh boy.
What was that name?
His name was Kissing Akechi, who is the rival/gay lover character from Persona 5.
Okay, got it. I was like, what about
Cubby Bub was playing Persona 5 while I started this character, and she said, what are you going to name him? And I said, I don't know. I don't fucking care about this guy. So I said, I'll just name him after the guy who was on the screen. Also, he was feral. I did not like it as much as Rogue, but it's fine.
I mean, this is the time to take advantage of like the quick leveling as well. So
yeah,
yeah, he got boosted by that 50% for most of it, and then the 87% for the last 2 days of his life. It was great. Oof. I helped Bane fight a big nasty demon guy. I saw his parents. I got a toy where a Kodo can hang out with me now, and I said, too bad. And I ran off Thunder Bluff and snapped his little ankles, and I'm never coming back.
Poor Kishimakeshi.
Poor Kisinakechi. He needs some kisses. Ideally from Akechi Goro. But Immunization, what is your TTBBMM?
I'm gonna make it a trifecta with top two, baby.
Triple top two.
And it's just overall that we are approaching the end of pre-patch, but like in particular, we are entering phase 2 of pre-patch, which is, in my opinion, the more exciting part, where we will have evokers, we'll have a new dungeon. Personally, I will feel a lot more of a reason to log on. I'm going to be
It's been a little slow as of late.
Yeah, so I'm excited to like actually have like a new class to create, to level up, and actually experience that in WoW Yum Live, and just mess around in a new dungeon and see like what's happening there. I also assume probably our guild will be like figuring out what we're going to be doing for Dragonflight, because that's coming up like really quickly.
Hell yeah. I also have a sneak peek for another future Sexiest NPC. Everybody, I just want you to imagine the hottest centaur, male centaur you could, named Maruk, 1000 Boner.
That is too many, if I may be fair.
Okay, Slidewhistle didn't even stretch it that much. His last name is 1000 Bones.
He got a lot of bones, and he got a lot of ladies to hand him out to.
Line up. I need a large number of ladies to satiate my 1000 bones.
Help.
That's what I'd say if I saw 1,000 boners all at once. Help!
Help.
But you know who's been helping us financially? It's our Patreon patrons. They include Command Sergeant Major Chizurla, fourth host of the podcaster Monkey, Ahoy Vince, a.k.a. Nathanos killed himself to see Sylvanas and she won't even pick up the phone, NSYNC/Drag Race, Azerin, Mitch, who wants the pod to know that the hunters of Unomas are burly boys, Crucifix, Cardicay, Saracen Hawk, 3 Duck, Defend Razagath, Dorno.
Yes, we are Razagathians once again.
Yeah, Razagathians, rise up, baby.
Rise up! Gershie Squirts. A squirt. Hoax, asking Growlina to say, for the Horde. Vanderlyle, generational talent. Smurf, debased god. Slidewhistle says,
Fuck Craig.
Chris M. And Will, a.k.a. Tyre, Trade Chat's fallen father.
If you want to join our lovely patrons, you can join our Patreon at patreon.com/do-not-relent. We're recording an episode literally 1 second after this one ends, where we're going to be even drunker. I'm going to smoke 3 blunts, and I'm going to do a handstand for the entire 35 minutes.
Can he do it?
Probably can't. I'll probably do the first one. Maybe the second one.
Please don't drink and smoke while you're doing a handstand. Please do one and then the other.
If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, if you want to send us your crazy tier theories, I'd love to hear them at do not relent pod.
We call them theories.
Theories. Do not relent pod at gmail.com, or email me personally at navarracoffin@gmail.com. You made a face. What was that face, huh? What does that fucking face mean?
I'm still thinking about how good Tiri was.
What about you cats? Where can they find your litter?
Well, my litter box is found online and Twitter at New Era Alex. You can follow our podcast Instagram account on the gram at Do Not Relent. You can go to our Discord server at DoNotRelent.com.
You can find my litter box in the weird closet where we keep the board games and the Christmas decorations. You can find me on Twitter at TheBigAcheesy. You can find the show's literary musings at DoNotRelent.livejournal.com, and come watch me on Twitch at twitch.tv/AaronDNR.
Big shout out to our Democratic voters for shitting on the red wave, baby! Let's go! Second most successful in 2001. 2002.
Oh, red wave, more like kind of very little pink sprinkle.
Red wave, more like red bath. Never mind.
Gen Z went like 68% Democratic on the fucking balloting. Get fucked. Alright, see you guys next week. And remember,
Another down! Do not relent!
Do Not Relent is a podcast within the 3HNC network, representing U.S. Proudmoore's premier podcasts.
That was a very good wish.